Today's video is going to be on IWMY, the new Defiance ETF that tracks the Russell 2000. It should have a pretty big dividend, bigger than QQQY or JEPY. And we're going to see if this is better than JEPY or QQQY or even JEPY for that matter. Okay, so here we go. We earn over $100,000 per year in dividends at this channel. All right, and that number has gone up recently because we've been buying a lot of Defiance funds, okay? And of course, I always want to raise my income, but we have to be careful when we do it, and there are tricks to doing it. And I want to always live the FIRE lifestyle. So I'll show you how I view IWMY for the FIRE lifestyle. If you need help doing what I'm doing, living financially free out of my brokerage account, email me for my e-guides at aikentodd48@gmail.com. So we also were up 18,000 today. We were up 19,000 at one point, thanks to the C's. Okay, that's my... First of all, everyone knows who follows my channel. That's my favorite fund because not only does it track the S&P and it holds many of the NASDAQ stocks, so it's basically, you know, an index play on the S&P, but it moves up big, okay? It was up 4% today. These funds can also move down. Closed-end funds can be subject to manipulation just like any other fund, but we're talking about the FIRE lifestyle, okay? So how do we incorporate IWMY into our strategy? Well, Cornerstone, it's 30% maintenance. And the first thing I saw right off the bat for IWMY was the maintenance was high. Let's go check that out. Now, first of all, if you want to play Cornerstone, play that properly. I have an e-guide on how to play Cornerstone if you're interested. You have to time it around its rights offering, and you have to ask for that special drip to get that discounted, you know, that drip at the NAV. So Cornerstone gives you a 21% dividend. And it's a 4-star fund, as you can see here above. Okay, it's a 4-star fund. Go find me a better ranked fund than that. And it outperforms the indexes. It made you about $55,000 over the last 10 years. And like I'm about to show you right here, it's also low maintenance. Okay, so this is the big difference between Cornerstone and IWMY. Okay, Cornerstone, CRF right here, 23% dividend, and again 22% dividend, and again it drips that dividend down at the NAV. Okay, so we had 30% premiums in Cornerstone once this year, so that meant that every time we had a dividend, it was dripping down at the NAV, which was 30% you know, cheaper than the market price. So you get to print your money there with your dividends. It's the only fund that I know of that drips at the NAV. Now you know, the Defiance funds, they don't drip at NAV, obviously. And here it's 30% maintenance. So 30% maintenance is the key to living financially free out of my brokerage account. JEPY and QQQY are 50% maintenance. And so this means that for every 100,000 I put into QQQY, for example, 50,000 of my equity is taken up. See, 50% maintenance here. Okay, 50% maintenance. So that's a huge problem when you're trying to live the FIRE lifestyle, because if you have, again, let's say 100 grand, it takes up 50 grand if you're available withdrawal. And Cornerstone only takes up 30 grand if you were to put 100 grand in. Now let's look at IWMY. Okay, IWMY, here at E-Trade, it is, let's see, I want to say it's, I hope it's 50%, but I thought I saw it was 100. Yes, it's 100% maintenance. So this is a problem, okay? If you need help understanding maintenance, that's in my margin e-guide, okay? So let me explain to you why this is a problem. Yes, the dividend should be high for IWMY. And really quickly, while we're on the subject, we know JEPY is 50% maintenance, but let's go look at JEPY, okay? JEPY, what's the maintenance here? Has a 10% dividend, really low in my opinion, and it's 35% maintenance, which isn't even that low. 35 is actually kind of high. I mean, I prefer 30% maintenance, and that's why I go with Cornerstone. It's the highest ranked fund, and it has the lowest maintenance. Now, let me explain a little bit to you about maintenance, all right? So even though I'm in 160,000 in margin debt, which I choose to put on, it's my choice. It's not like I'm stuck in debt. It's low interest debt. I've negotiated my interest down twice, and my interest is around 6%. Many of my clients have done the same on Discord. When you buy all of my e-guides, you get free access to Discord, by the way, and my phone number. So my clients can call me and they can get advice on how to negotiate their margin rates down or do anything in their portfolio for that matter. We can talk about allocations, you know, how to get, you know, just whatever you want in your portfolio, how to get the most out of your portfolio, et cetera, et cetera. So you can call me at any time. That's a unique feature, I believe, that other YouTube channels don't offer. So my 160,000 in debt will be gone in 1 year because you saw that I earned 160,000 in dividends. Okay. Also, this doesn't show up on a credit check, so I can get more loans and really live the fire lifestyle because margin is good debt. And so it'll be gone in 1 year because, again, 160,000 in margin in dividends pays that back. Okay. So in 1 year, my account will be plus 540,000, let's say, assuming a sideways market from here, and my debt will be at zero. And IWMY could help me pay that debt down even faster. All right. But 100% maintenance, okay, that means I can only put about 5 grand in this fund, because if I put 5 grand in IWMY, or 10 grand, it's going to take up 10 grand of this available withdrawal. So my available withdrawal will go from 181 to 171. That's not a terrible proposition for me, but I can't put any more in that. If I were to put, let's say, 100 grand in IWMY, not only would that be too risky because it's the Russell 2000 and you want to have a smaller allocation to the Russell than you would the S&P and the NASDAQ. That's how most people's portfolios look. You look at their portfolio, their allocations, it'll maybe be a 60-40 allocation, 60 stocks, equities, 40% bonds, maybe 50-50 depending on your age. But in those allocations, you'll see that the Russell 2000 is usually 10 or 20% of the equities max. Okay, if you have more than that in the Russell, then you've been really hurting this year. If we go to a chart of IWM, let's go search here. I'll just click CRF. And by the way, you can just see that the chart of CRF is so cheap. It's looking really attractive right now. Look at that chart. Okay, now let's go to IWM. Okay, this is the Russell 2000 index that IWMY tracks. All right, and you'll see that the Russell has had, it's been taken to the woodshed this year. It's in a major downtrend. And, you know, a lot of value funds and small cap funds look the same. So this isn't anything to be alarmed at, in my opinion. This is actually a really good buying opportunity. So I want to buy some IWMY because it's going to track the Russell and the Russell 2000, and the Russell 2000 is really cheap. Okay, my way of getting Russell 2000 exposure or small cap exposure is through the ARK funds, ARKK. So I buy OARK for the dividend. But look, I mean, we're oversold, okay, on the RSI here. And again, we're at such ultimate lows here. I mean, we're below the April lows. If we go to a 5-year chart of IWM, you'll see that it's back to the old range here of 2020 and 2019. Okay, so it's back there. It's looking really attractive. All right, if you need help understanding technicals, that's in my Volume 2 e-guide. All right, Volume 1 e-guide's fundamentals, fundamental analysis, and macro overviews. Volume 2 is technical analysis. Volume 3 is how to use margin to live financially free out of a brokerage account. And Volume 4 is how to play Cornerstone properly. So IWMY, I want to add, again, maybe 5,000, but no more than that. And I'm getting my small cap exposure through OARK instead, OARK. All right, I have 10,000 in this fund. And that has like a 30 or 40% dividend or something like that. And I also sell puts on TNA, which is the small cap Russell 2000 index. And when I sell the puts here, I got $1,000 for it. See, 975, that's $1,000 I got for selling this put on TNA, and that lowered my margin by $1,000. So that's why I like to sell options. I do them to lower my margin. I sell leaps options because they give me more premium to knock my margin down with at one time. And I get exposure to the Russell 2000 at the same time. People always ask me, why don't you sell weekly options and make money weekly? Because I'm not after weekly money. You have to sell a lot more of weeklies to matter, and then that sucks up all of your available withdrawal. Okay, I'm not trying to suck up my available withdrawal. And also, I want to knock down my margin now so that I knock down my interest now. And also with TNA, again, I'm getting this exposure. So you see that I'm down 900 because TNA has been, again, taken to the woodshed along with IWM. But if we get a bounce in the Russell 2000, then this is going to start going up, and you're going to see days gains here. And that's how I engineer these days gains. You know, being up 18,000 in one day, that was mainly Cornerstone, yes, but I also have a combination of these other funds that help me get those days gains. Like look at UPRO, we're up $200 in that, $200 here in OARK. So I can get another $1,000 potentially out of my other funds. And even in my options, I get another $1,000 of days gains there. I mean, look at Kohl's. That was up $100 for me today. So this is how I sell options to also get more days gains. I want dividends, 160,000 per year, and I want capital gains. I want the best of both worlds. Okay, so that's how I'm getting my small cap exposure, is through selling the puts on TNA, which I don't recommend anyone else do, but it's unique for it works for my strategy. And if you understand how to sell leaps and you're working with margin, it actually makes a lot of sense to do it the way that I'm doing it. And then I'm using OARC for the rest of my small cap exposure. OARC also has some mid caps in it, like Tesla. It has some S&P holdings, but it also has a lot of mid caps. So I'm getting my small cap and my growth exposure through OARC, and I'm going to buy some IWMY, but again, only a small amount because that maintenance was 100%. Okay, and 100% maintenance. I mean, if that could change. Some of these maintenance requirements change at E-Trade. And so if you want to go with a different broker who has it at a lower maintenance, that's possible, but then you can't get the advantage of the Cornerstone drip. Again, Cornerstone drips its 21% dividend back down at the NAV. Okay, you can't find that anywhere else, and that's only offered at certain brokers. And on my Discord chat room, okay, we have over 500 members where, again, when you buy my e-guides, you get free access to Discord for life. We have a brokerage specific channel here. We have a Yieldmax channel, Defiance channel, and I'm going to put this IWMY in the Defiance channel here. But we also have a brokerage specifics channel right here, specifics on brokerage. So all of the members here, the over 500 members here on Discord, can help you decide which brokerage is right for you if you're trying to, buy lower maintenance funds. Some people like to use a combination of Robinhood and Interactive Brokers along with E-Trade or Fidelity so they can get best of both worlds, low maintenance for some funds and the drip and Cornerstone for other funds. It's up to you, okay? You can use Discord for, as you can use it as a resource to answer all of your questions and help you live the FIRE lifestyle, truly. And I'm so thankful for my Discord community. We're like a family, and we've been sticking together through this recent October, this melees in the market, to get stronger for it on the other end. So that's how I'm playing IWMY, guys. Okay, it's a small cap fund. It tracks the Russell 2000, but it's 100% maintenance. And until that changes for me at E-Trade, I'm only going to buy 5,000, and that'll increase my income to over 160,000 per year, and it's only going to raise my debt by 5,000, and then I'm going to pay off my debt, because I make over 10,000 a month in dividends. So next month that will be paid for. I'll pay for the position by next month, and it'll set me back some of my margin plans because my margin was going to be paid down in 1 year, and now that I'm adding 5,000 here of IWMY, that's going to set me back by half a month. So no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because the Russell 2000 looks so cheap, and I might even explore adding some TNA outright, some stock outright to play the small caps. But for now, that's how I'm playing IWMY, okay? If you have any questions on what I'm doing, email me for my e-guides at aikentod48@gmail.com. And you can also, email me if you just need to talk, or if you want to send me some good information and data. I always appreciate that. I always appreciate my people who email me with that kind of information, but I can't really be fielding all your questions on YouTube or in the emails, and that's why I made the e-guides. And you can also just call me. When you get my e-guides, you get my phone number. So if Discord can't help you, you can call me, and I'll answer those questions for you the best that I can. All right, if you like the video, click like or subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.